Super attractive. Okay. I'm alive. So, for those of you not aware of what my life has been like for the past month, it's been just studying and studying and studying and studying and studying and studying and studying. For what, you may ask? The JLPT in 2. What's the JLPT, you ask, person who's never been to Japan? It is a Japanese language proficiency test. The Japanese language proficiency test is supposed to test your Japanese abilities and language skills. There are 5 levels, so at your 5th level you got basic, very basic kanji, like, oh, okay, this is the kanji for day. This is the kanji for the moon. All those, super fun, yay, Japanese things. So that's the easy level. Then you get to the NIKU and the EQ levels, and it's basically like, oh, do you know what appendicitis is in Japanese? And you're like, no. Okay, now I need to know this. Great. And also, do you know what shirui is? Do you know what this is? Do you know what this kanji? Do you know what this long, complicated title is? Yeah. They describe it on the website as hilarious. It's like, oh, do you understand basic everyday Japanese? When you read Japanese newspapers, can you read signs? Can you do this? And I'm like, that's not what this kanji is. Most of this kanji is for business. Like, N2 is basically business / student Japanese kanji. Like, this isn't everyday kanji. What are you talking about? So, everyday kanji, everyday conversational kanji, and everyday, like, kanji you should know is actually in 3 level. 3 levels consider the conversational level. And 4 is kind of like, you tried. 4 and 5 are basically like, hey, you tried. Good job. Iko. Which is like pat on the head for Japanese. And so you're like, yay, you did it. Good job. But 5, 4, and 3 do not a job get you, generally. I mean, I've heard of a few people for N3 getting like a fancy job, but it's rare. And it's usually like because they did N3, they were going to go for N2, but then they got the job, and so it's kind of like, well, I mean, I've already proved that I know Japanese, so it's fine, and stuff like that. Knowing people helps. Knowing people helps. But anyway, so I was going in for N2, thinking, oh yeah, this will be fine. I totally got this. 6 years in Japan. I read manga. I do read newspapers. I do, in fact, have enough that I should have been able to pass it, but I didn't. I'm pretty sure I didn't. You don't get the results until like January or February. I forget what the lady said at the test. I want to say it's gonna be January, but we'll find out. Anyway, so when I do get the result, there's some miracle that could happen, and by miracle I mean because it's graded on a curve, I could have passed based on the fact that other people could have failed so hard that the bar is set really low, and then my score is actually a passing score, but I don't count on that, and I shouldn't count on that being the case if I'm going to continue on my life. I am going to have to just I'm going to continue studying, not as hard, but I'm going to continue studying, and I'm going to continue, just everything I have been doing. I've been doing, like, YouTube channels stuffs. I've been doing, of course, studying with the, hold on, where are you? Okay, so there's, like, a whole pile of books that are just strewn about my room, so that's why we're not looking at my room today, but, like, this Nihongo Somatome. They are actually a really great book series if you're ever going to study for Japanese test of any variety, really. Like, they have books for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And they're really nice. They have, like, all these nifty, like, they have all the kanji here, and then they got, like, all the stuff. And if you're thinking that I didn't study this because I don't have any highlighters or markings on it, that's because this one is the kanji book, and what I did was I copied it, and then I got highlighters in a notebook. So, yeah, I'm a nerd. Like, I do. Anyway, so, there's this. And then there's other stuff, too. Oh my god, there's so many books I got lying around. Hold on, let me recommend you a book. The Try Into, based from the same people, I want to say, who made the Nihongo Somatome. Ask Publishing. Could be wrong. Nope, yep, I'm right. So, they are the same publishers, same people. But this book, arguably better than that kanji book by itself, or like a vocabulary book by itself, or grammar book. This has like all of it. It has like, I'll show you. It has things like this. Like, it'll have the grammar portions plus the kanji, and then online they have a whole vocabulary PDF. So then you can start like writing in what the kanji are with English or your own language. They have them in 3 different languages, I want to say: Vietnamese, Chinese, English, and then I think one more, but I don't remember what the other language is. Probably Tagalog, if I had to guess. I would imagine that would be the other, but I don't quote me on that. But yeah, these. So try and 2. I have this one that I went through most of this book, like, and memorized it, but didn't help me pass. But still, like, I do recommend all of these books. They are made to help you remember. I just didn't remember at the test. So anyway, wait, one more. Okay, the kanji into this kanji master is actually better in some aspects than the kanji Nihongo Somatome, and that's kind of also like important in this aspect. So, and this way you study by, you do them 3 times, you find out what the reading is, and then you have to do your own testing where you have to like, boom, you have to do the hiragana forms. This is the part that I have the biggest problem with. See, I can tell you exactly what an English word is for these things, but I can't tell you what the hiragana is. And this is what you get tested on. You have to be able to know what the kanji together are, and then you have to be able to put it into a hiragana form, and vice versa. And for me, my brain is like, oh, that means this, like in English. Then I go, yeah, brain, what is it in hiragana? Oh, I don't know. Like, thanks, brain. So I can honestly, like, it's kind of funny. I can look at a manual and I can read it and I can tell you exactly what the manual wants from you, but try and ask me what it actually is in the Japanese pronunciation and I'm useless. I don't know. Like, I can read things and know what they mean, or I can read something and go, oh, okay, that's this. But I just, and when it comes to knowing it for the tests, not so much. But do recommend these books, especially this book for kanji. It's a slog to get through, but I got through about half of this book, I want to say, and then yeah, I stopped because there just wasn't enough time. I found this book a little late. I found this book, I want to say I found this book in July, and so this was a little bit late for me. I didn't realize how like better this book was for me than until it was too late. So if you're needing to know like the hiragana like spelling forms, this book is good for you and good for practicing for that. But then if you do it in combination with other books, that's the thing. Don't rely on any one method for studying for the JLPT, because no one method is gonna work for everybody. And I know many people are gonna be on the like YouTube's telling you, okay, well, just do the practice tests over and over and over again and you'll be fine. Nah, I don't agree with it. As somebody who didn't pass it, I don't agree. I did a few practice tests. I did. And I did a few of the online practice tests too with YouTube and like a thing. I passed those, I don't know. But like those, I would say, like, yes, that's good for test taking skills and everything. And it's good for knowing like what the test is involved in. But it doesn't help you retain the information, and it doesn't help you when you actually, say, get a job in Japanese. So I would say actually study your kanji, and study your grammar, and study your reading comprehension, and listening. For listening, there's not really much you can do besides, I guess, do the test taking, like, listening things. I guess that would be the best part of, I guess, taking tests, is just for the listening portions. But in general, listening, okay, of all the parts in the test that I had a hard time with, listening wasn't really one of them. I'm actually fine with listening skills. When I took the N4, it was hilarious because my test score, it's like kanji, meh, grammar, meh, listening, fine. Like, my listening skills are okay. It's literally everything else that's the problem. But also, if you are studying, do not rely on these also as like your main input source of like kanji and everything. You should also be reading in Japanese. Like newspapers are boring to me. I force myself to read like an article online every other day. But I don't know. News ain't interesting to me. So what I do is I read manga and I read what else do I do? I know I do. Oh, well, because I work at a Japanese high school, what I do is we get these oshirase, these announcements sheets, and I have a ton of them because I go to my main teachers meeting, and then I also go to my Shinro meeting, and then I go to these other meetings, and every time I go to a meeting I get meeting papers, and when I do, I usually study all the Japanese at the meetings if I can. It's not always 100% like every single page that I do, but I try to do at least the announcement sheets. I actually have a notebook now that's just like full of those, where I'm just like translating, which is good, and it keeps my brain active. And then also, I would say if you can, this is the harder level. I have some Japanese books, but they're like junior high school level Japanese books. If you can like start reading like kids books and then work your way up to like sort of novels, that's a good idea. Like being able to read books in Japanese is always a good idea. Reading novels, reading newspapers, reading manga, whatever you can get your hands on and whatever can keep you active in your brain with Japanese, also good. And then you learn new kanji in context, which helps you remember better. Read stuff that's interesting to you and read stuff that you like in order to help you retain that information and keep it. So that you can pass, unlike me. So, the JLPT itself, when you take it, you have to come to your test site, and you have to come by noon to get like filed into your seat and everything and blah blah blah. Usually it's a university of some variety. So I went to, my first one was to Tsukuba Daigaku, the Tsukuba University in Ibaraki. So I went to that one first for the N4. That one was, I had to drive by car and park my car in a secret place, because you're technically not supposed to bring your car to the car. You're not supposed to bring your car, motorcycle, or transportation to the test site. So what I did was I parked at like I think it was a convenience store, or maybe like a different place, and I just kind of parked it there, left it there, came back, and it wasn't towed or anything, and it was fine. But I had to bring my car up because I was driving all the way from where I lived in Itako all the way to Tsukuba. Taking the train would have been expensive, A, and B, it would have required a lot more time, so I just went ahead and drove. But you're not supposed to. So don't drive, and don't bring your bicycle, don't bring your motorcycle, don't do any of that. It even says on the test, the like registration paper that you got, that will say on it, don't bring any of those there, so don't. And follow all instructions, because it says in the booklet, not following instructions is a failing thing to do. Like, you could be a not passed, which is failed. So you would be stamped not passed if you do not follow the instructions of, if you do not follow the instructions of proctors or of the JLPT rules. Fun fact. Yeah, so Japanese culture, following the rules is just as important as taking the test. Good to know. Speaking of, so you get there, you get to your spot, you sit there, you check and make sure the desk number in front of you is the same as the number on your booklet, and then they start giving out instructions, and the instructions are very easy. They're like, do not open your book. Do not do this. Do not do that at first. Every year, without fail, somebody opens their book. Every year, without fail, somebody still has like a cell phone out as the test is about to begin. And every year, without fail, somebody has food or drinks still on their desk when the test is about to start. People, they have pictures up on the chalkboard that say no food, no drink in picture form. So, listen to the instructors, and when they're saying in Japanese, "Hon no akete nai kudasai," do not open your freaking book. Don't open your freaking book. So, once you do get told to open your book, then you can. Usually, I don't know why, but all my proctors say, "Hajimemashou!" And that's like, "Let's get started!" And they're like, don't be excited about this. This is a test, please. So, then you take the test. Then you feel defeated and sad inside when you realize that you are not going to pass this test, and everything about your future relied on this test, and now you have nothing to do for your future. So, after you do that, and you have like 105 minutes to do, for N2 anyway, you have 105 minutes to finish your vocabulary, kanji, and reading parts, which are super fun, not great. So, and then you take a break, about half an hour-ish, and then you come back and you do the listening section. The listening section is about 50 minutes, give or take. The thing is, though, you may have to wait a while before they get all the CD stuff set up and the mics and so we had that problem. Not exactly sure why, but the CD player wasn't working at first, and then for whatever reason, one of our proctors left, I think to go look for somebody who maybe didn't come back. That's like the leading theory I have in my head, but I don't know why. Our ladies just left, and we have to wait for her because they have to have, I think they're supposed to have 3 to 4 people in the room for every test to go around and make sure people aren't cheating, A, and to make sure, B, that they have somebody who's always just like there in the test room, so if somebody needs to like take somebody to the bathroom, there's 2 other people there, and then another person can do that, etc. So you may have to wait a while the listening section gets set up, and then finally you do it. And for me, the listening section, I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's this. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's this. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's this. And so on and so forth. Like, the listening section for me was kind of like, oh, hi, I know this. This is a thing I can do. But the first part was just, great. No. So after you take the test, you are to leave the test site almost immediately. Like, they don't mess around. I automatically, like, as soon as the test was over, I was up, I was out, and I was calling people to tell them, yeah, no, I failed. Thanks for wishing me good luck, but I'm pretty sure I failed. So, but get out. Like, the last time when I took the N4, me and my friends thought that we could, like, chill and just talk for a while outside of the university. No, the university people were mad, and they were like, get out. We don't want you here. Get out. And so we left. So as soon as the test was over this time, I was like, okay, I remember this. No, I'm out. So, and yeah, it happened. It was a thing that happened, and I did it. And I gotta say, after the test was over, I actually felt really relieved that it was just over, that it's just done, that all this hard work and effort I've been putting into this thing is done and over. After months of just being all worked up about it, it was just so nice to get it done and over with. And it was just so nice to be like, well, it happened, and I have accomplished the fact that I did it. I also don't think it was wasted time and effort. Studying for this test has definitely helped improve my Japanese comprehension in other ways that I needed, and I will continue to keep studying because it's really nice now to be able to read and to be able to understand something like really well. I was understanding things pretty okay. Like, I was definitely a pretty decent conversation level person for a long time now. Like, for the past, I don't know, for a good, like, 4-ish years. I want to say from, like, my second year onwards, Japanese is kind of plateaued. I kind of have been conversationally good. I understand enough kanji to get through everything. You know, it was fine. I didn't need to know anymore. But now that I do know more, and now that I can look at something and go, oh, okay, I know exactly what this is, it's nice. I like that. I don't know, like, what to do about my future. I don't know what to do. Without the N2, I can't go into a different field. I was really hoping that I could go into, say, like, a part-time tourism job or something else, or I don't know, recruitment maybe. I don't know. My ideal situation, honestly, would be like tourism or translation interpretation. Like I would really, I don't know, I would, or maybe a mixture of those together. I just would really like to do that, I think, at first, or some kind of like localization, mass media printing, something else. I like teaching. I do. I have enjoyed doing it for 6 years. It wasn't a excuse to just keep staying in Japan. I really actually liked the jobs I have had. I've actually been also really lucky, I guess, too, in the aspect of like I've liked working with the people I've been working with, and I've connected with most of them. So I actually have an investment in sticking around with like most of these people I've been. So I was 3 years at an ALT, and I loved it. And then I was 3 years this high school English teacher, and I enjoyed it as well. Like, it wasn't bad. It's not the job itself that's the problem. It's just that I know inside that I am done, if that makes any sense. Like, I know I am finished with this aspect of what I've been doing. And I never really intended to teach this long. I got into it and I enjoyed it, and then I enjoyed the challenges of it. But I knew I didn't want to do it forever, so that's why I didn't bother with the TEFL, I didn't bother with the TOEFL, and I didn't start looking at master's degrees. Like, and I know that I don't want to invest time, money, and effort into a career field that I'm not going to do forever. I have enjoyed what I have been doing, and I have enjoyed the challenges of overcoming them, and I have enjoyed teaching my kids. I have enjoyed all the people that I've gotten to know through these jobs, but at the same time, I don't really have a career that comes to mind per se too, that when I think of, I'm like, oh yeah, I could see myself doing that forever per se. For now, I would just like the chance to do something else. I don't know what that would be, but something else. And if you're gonna be one of those people, like, what about YouTube? Why don't you be a full-time YouTuber? No, I like this. I enjoy this, but I enjoy this as a hobby. My olive beautiful 41 subscribers, thanks for tuning in. But I just don't see myself doing this full time, and I don't really want to invest. Oh my god, the amount of money for Sony Vegas Pro, holy shit. And then, you know, all the camera work that we require, and all the know-how. I don't know, I'd have to go back to school and learn video editing all over again. I just don't have that time and effort to put into. No, I don't want to do that. Watch me eat my words like 3 years down the line when I'm like still doing this, and I'm like, okay, well, this is what's happening. But for now, it's just I think I enjoy doing occasionally. And it also helps for my family to help keep up with me, so there we go. Yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen next year. I have no idea. I know I'm staying in Japan somehow, because I thoroughly enjoy living in Japan, and not as a weeaboo, oh my god, everything's amazing about Japan. Like, I'm comfortable here. I've made a life here. I have friends here that are Japanese, yes, and then also Gaikokujin, and I see myself here for a while, another 3 to 4 years at least. I want to stay here. I don't know about forever, and I keep saying another 3 years, and then that's 6 years now. So it may end up being forever. I just don't know. I'm at that kind of stage in my life right now where everything is a crossroads. Everything is kind of like, where the hell do I go and what the hell do I do? So I don't know. I know that I want to do writing again. I do blog, right? Of course. And I'm vlogging kind of, but like I also do want to put out these novels that I've been working on for forever. Also something that ideally somewhere down the line I would love to have like as my main income, but I'm not under the delusion that I'm the next Jane Austen or something like that. I'm not gonna be a next classic, but I would love to be able to do that. And I'm definitely going to be putting efforts into putting out a book in January of next year. So that's kind of going to be something cool. Yay. So I guess, side note, novel coming out in January. That's cool. So I'm done. I'm done rambling. I'm done. Like, I'm done with the JLPT for now. I'll be doing it again in July. I don't know what my job's gonna be next year. I'm panicking internally and externally, apparently. Yay. Okay. Okay. This video is a mess and a half, like me and my life. I'll see you guys later. Bye.